Hey, I'm Roland with Mobile Geeks, and this is our quick review and my first impressions and a quick unboxing of the Prestigio MultiPhone 8500 Duo. So we showed you this device at Computex 2014 already, so we had the first hands-on of this, and it is one of the new cheaper OEM-made Windows phones coming from a company called Prestigio. In this case, the company is situated in Cyprus, and they're mostly active in Eastern Europe, and they're also branching out to other countries now. Also, this is available in Germany and the rest of Europe for 154 euros, which is around, I would guess, like 200 bucks. Available including shipping, so you get this for free, shipped to your doorstep within probably like 7 days. In my case, it took just under a week. And yeah, it's a 5-inch smartphone, and let's get started. I'll tell you a bit more about it. The box looks a bit, got a bunch of hits on the travel to me. That's mostly because of the shipping company, I guess. So here we have the phone itself. I'm just going to quickly get it out of the file right there. Looks pretty nice, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's go deeper down into the box. Over here we have a standard micro USB 2.0 cable. Right next to that are some pretty good looking in-ear plugs, headphones included, which is nowadays not as common on cheaper smartphones. This is a 5-volt 1 amp charger, so it might take a bit longer to charge the 2000 milliamp hour battery that's in this phone. Quick start guide, bunch of information in a ton of languages since Prestigio is active in a lot of countries in Eastern Europe. And here we have the removable battery, which is a 2000 milliamp hour power block right here, 7.4 watt hours. And I'm just going to put the box aside and let's talk about the phone then. I've already been using this for like a week, and I'm just going to quickly prop in the battery. So there's a spot down here. We can remove the back, fully made out of plastic. It's based on a Snapdragon 200, which is the MSM 8212. That's a quad-core 1.2 gigahertz ARM Cortex A7, including HSPA plus up to 42 megabits and 3G and all the other interesting stuff that you need to access the web quite quickly. We have dual SIM support. These are full-size SIM cards, so I had to cut down on my SIMs that I have right here, for example, or use an adapter actually to fit those in there. Not as common nowadays to have full-size SIM cards. And we have a MicroSD card slot right there for storage extension. There's 1 gig of RAM integrated right here and 8 gigs of onboard flash storage. Let me just quickly pop on the back again. So the device is fully made out of plastic. We have a back cover that has a matte structure to it. There's like this pattern on here that doesn't really attract any fingerprints except when it's hot like right now and my fingers are pretty sweaty. It's available in black, and I think there's a white version coming out later on. We have a speaker down here, big Prestigio logo up there, and an 8 megapixel camera including a flash and autofocus up there. Flash right there, and there's the noise cancellation mic situated underneath the camera there. We have the headset jack up top and the micro USB 2.0 port right there. Speaker again down here, as I said, and on the side you will get, let me just see if you can manage to show you that. That's the volume rocker right there, and the power button is on the other side up here. So the design actually changed a bit from what we saw at Computex. The device they showed off at Computex actually had more of a metal look and a golden rim around the frame, but basically it still looks the same. So we have a 1.3 or 1.2 megapixel camera up front. I think you just saw the startup screen right there. Down here we have capacitive touch buttons, so no on-screen buttons on this device. Windows button in the middle, back button, and the search button right there. That's the earpiece up there, and there we have the Windows start screen or the Windows boot up screen. I have just removed my SIM card, but I've actually, as I said, been using this device for a while now. And I have to say it is pretty good for a device that's only 150 euros. Works pretty nicely. There's a bunch of spots where it's kind of slowing down a bit, but that's mostly because I think the software hasn't been fully optimized yet, but other than that, you get all the Windows Phone features that you would expect nowadays. Let me just see if I can find Nokia here, Drive. What I also noticed is that the interface kind of is a bit laggy still. So scrolling is a bit slower than on the Nokia devices, and also they're obviously using smaller fonts on here. So when I just quickly, let me just find the settings, they're down here, settings right there, you'll see that the fonts on the screen are actually smaller than on other devices because obviously they've changed the scaling right here. We have Windows Phone 8.1 installed. I've upgraded this to the update 1 already. So what you get are the standard drop-down menu up there in the notification center, including the quick settings up here, and a ton of settings to actually change, for example, for the SIM cards. So let me see, there's the SIM cards right there. And here you can change the settings for SIM 1 and SIM 2. Let me just heighten the brightness, get you that up there. So there you can see SIM card settings. I had to enter my internet APN manually, so that might be something that you have to remember in case you're wondering why the phone doesn't connect to the web. It supports 3G up to 42 megabytes a second, or megabits a second, which is pretty nice. And overall, it's been quite a pleasure using it. The device has a 5-inch 720p screen. That's an IPS panel, has pretty good viewing angles, as you can see. Brightness isn't the highest, and also it doesn't really go down very far on the brightness since you only have 3 different settings, which is low, medium, and highest. But if you set it to automatic, it tends to go down a bit further even than that. There's no notification light on here. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can tell you about this. So it's been quite a pleasure using this so far, at least for 150 euros. It is a pretty good deal. So if you want to get a cheap Windows phone, you can definitely buy the Prestigio MultiPhone 8500 Duo from Prestigio through their online shop, and they'll ship it to you anywhere in Europe for just those 154 euros in this case. So I was rolling with Mobile Geeks, taking a quick look and giving you my first impressions, which are pretty good, of the Prestigio MultiPhone 8500 Duo. And if you like what we do on our channel, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Google+, and we will see you later. Goodbye.